Dear students, welcome to online classes. Today we are going to discuss about the story of the scale from learning how to measure of 6th class science. So many hundred years ago, people used to measure distances with their hand spans, strides or foot spans. One day, a very tall man went to a shop to buy some cloth. He asked for 3.5 cubit length of cloth. The shopkeeper measured the 3 cubit length of cloth and then added approximately another half cubit length. But here the customer was very tall and the shopkeeper was very short. Their cubit lengths are different. Hence, the man felt that the shopkeeper had cheated him. So he measured the cloth with his cubit and found that the cloth was not even 3 cubit length. He told the shopkeeper that the length of the cloth was less than the 3.5 cubit when he measured with his own cubit. The shopkeeper replied that his own arm was the standard for measuring. They both argued about whose cubit was to be taken as standard measure. So not only these, in those days, people measuring the lengths of fields with ropes, it creates arguments and hundreds of other things must have been a familiar fight. So how should one measure a half or a quarter cubit length? So it is difficult, it is approximation only. Then finally some sensible people got together and decided to have a scale of a fixed length. In order to measure subunits, they marked their scale with several smaller but equal divisions. Then they decided that everyone would measure length with this scale, and they used wood or metal to make scales of the same length. At one place, people decided to use the distance between the nose and the tip of the middle finger of their king as a measure. So you can see the picture from the nose to the tip of the middle finger, and this can be taken as 1 yard. They used wood or metal to make scales of this length and call this distance 1 yard. In Telugu it is called 1 gajamu. And this yard was divided into 3 equal parts and each part was called a foot. And then they divided each foot into 12 equal parts and called them as inches. They even divided each into smaller segments also. And you can see the picture that you observe different ads based on their kingdom. So coming from the bottom, Henry VII ad, Elizabeth ad, Metre ad choose, Imperial Standard ad. So there are so many, and the top 2 are modern and standard and international prototype meters. So you can see you find differences in the ad when compared with the kingdoms. So means every country prepare their own scale based on their king ad length, because each country had its own scale which differs from others. It led to a lot of problems in trade and commerce. So there was always a chance of quarreling breaking out. So finally in France, it was decided that a certain length of rod made up of a special material, platinum iridium mixture, would be called a meter. And you can see the picture, it is the meter bar, which is made up of platinum and iridium mixture, special type of material. The meter was divided into 100 equal parts, and these parts are called centimeters. And each centimeter was again further divided into 10 equal parts and called as millimeter. and these centimeters and millimeters you can find in your own ruler scales. Now we are using this as a standard measurement for length throughout the world. This original scale was preserved in a museum in France, and you can have a picture. So this is the meter scale, original meter scale, so prepared in the France. The story explains the need of standard instrument to measure lengths. The meter scale is internationally accepted instrument for measuring length. So 1 meter is the standard unit of length. You can see here it is a normal scale where we have short scale for only 15 centimeters, and again the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3 etc. they are all centimeters, and between 0 and 1 there are smaller lines also, they are called millimeters. We use meter as a unit of length and subsequently centimeters and millimeters as smaller units of length.